Welcome back, everyone, to Driving Home with Jimmy and the Brick. I had to pull up the comment. I couldn't remember what it was.
I would say bring it back.
Are you on the road?
That was kind of just the first go at it.
bring it now. Are you on the road, listener? We're not. We're in our comfy little cozy holes. Cozy holes?
I don't like the sound of that.
I don't like that either. Let's start over. Welcome to Driving Cozy Holes with Jimmy and the Brick.
As per the conversation in the last episode, did you and Jessica happen to be listening to the podcast in the car?
But I was driving when I listened back to it, so I got 50%. But I'm sure we will be driving when we listen to it. This is the only time I show it to Jessica is in long car rides, so it's almost inevitable.
That poor girl. Not only is it a long car.
She brings it up. She's like, "Yoppie dudes, how many behind are we?" So
what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She laughs at the things that you say and suspiciously doesn't laugh at anything I say.
Yeah, that's because we got this thing going on. I mean, don't worry about it, but like, it's kind of a big deal.
She's in your DMs.
Yeah, she just slides into my DMs.
Oh, God.
I mean, like, actually, it's kind of funny because that night that we just had that random phone chat, like a month or whatever ago.
When I was like nearly blackout drunk, is that what you're talking about?
When you were nearly blackout drunk.
Yeah.
What? That was when like the first time I ever got Jessica's number. And I've known her now for like 6
Did I tell
years?
you her number over the phone? Is that how you got it?
Yeah.
Or did you just like psychically absorb?
Yeah, no. I was just like, hey man, what's Jessica? Because okay, dear listener, here's the story. Jamie once every like few years, drinks way too much, and he drank way too much and decided to give me a call at like 10:30.
I wasn't approaching my other personality, Jared Scottsland. I wasn't quite there.
No, you weren't.
But
he was going really far, and so I basically just asked drunk Jamie if he could give me his wife's phone number, and so I texted. You just gave me her number without any question, and then I just texted her to like.
I
make
think
sure
I probably
drinking water.
subconsciously knew why you needed it.
Yeah, probably. But
so this is Jump on the Bat-Wagon, everybody. It's episode 26, right? Yeah, and we still don't know how to start the show.
We are so bad at intros. I think we need, like, you and I need an additional, like, 15 minutes of bullshitting before we start recording.
Yeah, because, we're like, oh, hey, it's been a week. Better catch up on the podcast while we're recording and tell the listener everything about our lives. Yeah. This is where we watch through the entire DC animated universe. I'm looking at Brian to tell him this as if he doesn't know.
Oh, yes, I'm listening.
Start to finish. We're going to go in air date order, I've decided.
Why air date order?
Some might find this a little bit...
controversial.
Controversial. We're doing that because, I feel like you should watch it the way like a child of the 90s would have watched it.
What about an adult?
You didn't have a
90s?
choice of... If you were an adult in the 90s watching Batman cartoons, boy, man, you need a life. Am I right?
No.
That's what they tell me. And by they, I mean dummy, poo-poo, pee-pee, poo-poo heads.
They say they'll like 60,000 subscribers on the Watchtower database or whatever.
Excuse me? There's almost 83,000 subscribers.
Really?
You bitch.
I just don't watch your videos anymore. I get so concerned about spoilers.
You shouldn't. Yeah. There's a really good one coming out. If you're listening to this on the day on the Friday it comes out. On
Saturday
this coming
in Australia.
Tuesday. Yeah. This coming. Thank you for clarifying. This coming Tuesday, 2/22/22 at 2:22 p.m. I'm putting out a video that you could probably guess the topic. But I can't get Brian to watch this video until we're done with the series.
God, really?
With Batman, at least.
It's going to be all about Summer Gleason, isn't it?
You got it. Yeah, because she has a 2 in her name.
Summer to Gleason.
It's like Jungle to Jungle, starring Tim Allen and that kid. Was that kid ever in anything else?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That doesn't register for me.
You don't know that movie?
No.
You're too old. Yeah, makes sense.
I was
Really,
too old.
really
I was one of
fucking
those adults in the 90s watching the Batman cartoon.
Oh, yeah,
By the
but
way,
not.
we have over we talked about our listener ages. We have people who were adults in the 90s
That's true.
listening to this. So
I hope they caught the sarcasm in my voice. It was pretty
that was
obvious.
sarcasm.
Never. With me, it's always serious number one serious guy. Pee pee poo poo. What the hell is this? We're watching
Jump
an episode
the
of Batman the
Wagon.
Animated Series. Yeah, Jump the Wagon on Bat. We're watching I look forward to when we actually get to do that again.
Yeah.
We're watching Perchance to Dream. Perchance to Dream.
Oh, that's right.
today.
5 Goes West.
Yes, that was your prediction last time. This aired. This is the 30th episode produced and the 26th to air. Aired Monday, October 19th, 1992. We skipped Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. Now, I found something out yesterday. Ted and I were on a Zoom call with a guy who's his name's Daniel Dockery. He writes for he writes for Vulture and various other news outlets and entertainment outlets. He is writing a book about Batmania, the Michael Keaton era of like everyone's crazy about Batman. Oh my God, this is great kind of stuff. He just finished a book about Pokemon, similar topic of like Pokemon at its height in the late 90s kind of
Pokemania?
Pokemania. I don't know. That if he didn't call it that, he's
maybe it's Pokemonomania. Anyway.
Yeah. The Batman book that he wanted to have Ted and I on as like pseudo experts about this stuff, which felt kind of weird. Like I was like, okay, like I'm flattered, but I don't know if you use quotes from me, like that's cool, I guess. But we were talking about how it came up in conversation that I knew this, but never like connected it to doing this podcast. So one of the like things about Batman the Animated Series that people talk about a lot as it was so good. It was so good that it aired on prime time on Fox. Like it wasn't just in the kids slot, because we've been talking about 4:30 p.m. Fox Kids.
Right.
But I found out through this conversation yesterday that the 4:30 p.m. block would not have been Fox Kids. It would have just been Fox.
Life
so the whole
is a lie.
I know. I've been telling you the wrong information this whole time. I needed to clarify this because I looked up. I should have opened this webpage beforehand. There it is.
Just type 4:30 on foxkids.org.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Batman the Animated Series in 1992, during this time that we're at right now, it was airing back to back, like with the Ben Stiller Show, In Living Color, all this kind of stuff that like that's not a cartoon kind of thing. And I never thought to like look this up to see what other shows would have been happening in the afternoon on the weekdays, but that totally makes sense that it wasn't on. Like, so on the weekends when it's at a Saturday morning cartoon, it's on Fox Kids.
Okay.
But on the weekdays, it's just Fox
Adults
with like on CBS at the same time. 60 Minutes is happening. It's like, what's going on?
That's I get that this could be a more mature show.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's held your attention for a couple of days now.
Yeah, a little bit.
But like back to back with In Living Color. That's a bit weird for me.
It is, yeah. I guess like it just shows that they were confident enough that it would I don't know, people would watch it after work and stuff. Like,
I guess, yeah.
I don't
like
know.
some guy goes for like gets home from like a long day at the garage or at the factory or something like that,
Yeah.
and he's like, time for me to grab a Budweiser and watch some Batman.
I need the Wayans brothers and Batman. So yeah, that was just kind of an interesting thing. And so now when I clarify, I guess it aired on Monday, October 19th, 1992, 4:30 p.m. on Fox.
Kids.
Not Fox Kids.
Kids.
No kids allowed on this time.
Kids.
The teleplay is by Joe R. Lansdale. He'll be returning a few times. He's a new one for what we're talking about right now. Story by Laren Bright and Michael Reeves. Those names have come up before, but I can't remember on what. Directed by Boyd Kirkland, music by Shirley Walker, and animation by Dong Yang.
Okay.
A.K.A. not ACOM.
I feel like I know what to expect.
Good stuff, sort of, maybe?
Yeah.
Not ACOM is what you're expecting? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there could be some good stuff, but I'm not going to be like waiting for some crazy good stuff.
You've had quite the string of terrible episodes the last few weeks.
I feel like I have, and I'm
Yeah.
just waiting for like. I actually the other day I had some downtime, and I was almost like, maybe I could put on that Mr. Freeze episode again.
Yeah, well, hey, on Leather Wings, I understand if you want to watch that again.
Maybe I should actually go back and watch on Leather Wings. Although I hear I'm only allowed to watch these things once. Ever.
Yeah, no.
Shoot.
I feel like I'll give you permission if you want to rewatch something that we've already watched. You just
Okay.
don't get to watch ahead. That's the only thing.
Shoot. All right, deal.
You can watch Heart of Ice over and over in all of your free time. That's fine.
Sweet. Okay, all my free time.
Yes.
I had about
So
30 minutes
never.
of it today.
Yeah, so you could have watched it once. All right. Do you want to go watch Perchance to Dream?
Yo, let's go watch Dreams to Dream, Five Goes West.
A dream
Linda
of
Ronstadt.
beans. Do you
Dream
think
of
it'll be
beans.
entirely beans?
It's gonna be a lot of beans. It's gonna be mice and beans. Of mice and
Perchance
beans?
to beans of mice. Ugh.
Yes.
All right.
Sell it.
Here we go.
Here we go. Audio clip now, Jamie.
What?
A problem, sir?
It's not here.
What's not here, sir?
You know what I'm talking about. The entrance to the Batcave. Why is it sealed up?
Batcave? I'm sorry, I don't...
That's right, Alfred. The Batcave. It's a big hole in the ground with a big car in it that's all black. Remember?
Son, you sound upset. Is something the matter?
No. No, it's impossible. No. It can't be you. It can't be.
Would you say we have broken the streak of bad episodes?
You know what? I could say a lot of things.
Oh, I hope that's a positive reaction.
I mean,
don't
I
know.
could just say a lot of things.
Yeah. Like
Books.
sassafras. Hip hop. I see where you're going with this. Tell me what happened. In Perchance to Dream, Brian.
All right, I will tell you what happened, and I will tell you succinctly because I care about the listeners' free time.
Thank you, because there's big trips for this episode. So
Is there?
Get it going now. Hurry up.
I'm gonna get this going. The episode opens and Batman is having a car chase, and things are ramping up. He breaks into a building and is surprised with a big flashy light and some stars in his eyes. Batman wakes up kind of confused, and he seems like he's in kind of an alternative reality. As the episode trucks along, Bruce becomes more and more convinced that he's living a dream, especially when he goes to read the newspaper and it says
It sure does.
then Batman goes all suicidal, jumps off a bell tower, and finds out that the Mad Hatter was behind it all. Mm-hmm. Is that a good
Yeah,
TV guiding?
That's pretty good. Bruce Wayne wakes up to find his dearest wish has come true. His parents are not dead, and he is not and has never been Batman. Not only that, but he's engaged to Selina Kyle. At first, he's ecstatic, but a number of clues force him to the conclusion that somehow this is all an elaborate charade. His quest to find the truth eventually pits Bruce against Batman in a surreal battle atop a church tower. Batman is unmasked and revealed to be the Mad Hatter, who has put Bruce in a forced dream state. Bruce's only way to wake up is to throw himself from the tower, which he does, and returns to his life as the Dark Knight. The end. Can you go to sleep now, little boy? God, was that a good enough story? The entire story?
That was, it's kind of funny because like I know that I left out a lot of information on my description, obviously. I feel like that one, like for as telling as it was, also left out a lot of information.
Yeah. Well, it says, at first he's ecstatic, which is not true. He's more like, no, I'm Batman. This is wrong. This is terribly wrong. And then Leslie Tompkins, who for some reason would know who he is in this reality. I don't know why, since her entire like connection to him is like, your parents died and I helped you get through it. So I don't know why she would know him in this, but she's like, well, Bruce, you see, your brain created an alternate scenario because you're crazy as hell, and I'm just going to let you walk out of my office. You're fine. You lived like 30-something years thinking you were Batman, but you're not.
It's called disassociation. Get the fuck out of my office.
Yeah, you dummy. How do you not know this? You're Batman. You're smart as hell. So then he's like, at that point, he's very happy about it. Like, oh, God, Dad? Would you like to go to the opera with me and Selena tonight? Well, Bruce, it's also Kevin Conroy here. I'm a dad now. He was like putting on an extra young Bruce Wayne voice to try to contrast with the Thomas Wayne voice, I think. Yeah.
I do like the whole like, hey, Dad, I would like to give you a thumbs up.
Yeah. We've commented on the transatlanticness of everything a few times now, and this was is heavy in that stuff of like, oh boy, your mom and I also have an appointment later. Oh, we're gonna go golfing on the golf course. Oh goodbye. And it's weird because it's only when I watch these with you that stuff sticks out like a sore thumb. That I'm like just so used to it. Like, yep, that's what the show is, and then I'm like, ah, damn it, they're doing this again.
Sorry, man, I didn't mean to mess this up for you.
Yeah, you really did.
I really did.
I liked how this was so close to the last Mad Hatter episode in air order. So you just had your horrible Mad Hatter experience, and when he unmasked him and it's Mad Hatter, you went no, no. And then when he's like, oh, this is all a dream, and you're like, okay, thank God. And then he wakes up and it's really Mad Hatter? God damn it. Like, you're so mad.
I was pretty upset because, like, I guess it makes sense that what was his name? Jervis
Tetch?
Jervis Tetch.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he was like a pretty smart scientist and all. And like, yeah, I guess he could create machines that like no one else could. And that's like his kind of big deal thing. But like also like, bright light, flashy, sparkle eye. Have you ever seen Shin-Chan? He definitely has the like Hema baby eyes looking at something that she wants. That probably doesn't register to anybody listening.
Don't know what
which
that is.
Probably all for the better. Shin-Chan is an anime you should definitely
comment below
watch.
if you know what the hell Brian's talking about.
Yes, please. I want to know who.
Well, he got the sparkle eyes, but then you saw the helmet like drop down on his head.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It's like, it's a very quick shot. If you don't know what it is, like I do, it just looks like a black circle coming at the camera. So it could be like, you don't know that it's coming down from the top. It could be like from the front or something. Like, what am I looking at? It probably didn't even register as a thing to remember because of that. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. So
that's fair.
But yeah, then that's what he's wearing at the end is the helmet, the strainer, the pasta strainer that he has on his head.
Batman's Colander of Dreams.
There we go. There's the episode name. Still has dreams in it, but that's okay. Yeah, this is like an episode that comes up in most people's like top Batman episode lists.
I can see why. It's like it's a unique episode.
Yeah. What are your? I won't judge you. What are your like legit impressions of this episode besides the Mad Hatter aspect of it? Like, did you find yourself like, oh, this is a good episode as you're watching it, or was it like you're still just okay, we've had a string of like 6 god awful episodes, like, I'm just looking out for the terrible things now or whatever?
I was actually like, as it was going on, I was appreciating the episode more and more and more, and I do feel like the very end they're like, oh God, we gotta like wrap this up in 30 seconds. It's the Mad Hatter.
It was a matter. Whoa!
And like he's like, Batman, you ruined my life, and then he like crumbles to the ground, and that's the end of the episode. Like the last probably minute of this is my least favorite part of the episode.
It's kind of a cop out, like
it is definitely a cop out ending
of just like, well, the fact that Mad Hatter is like, Batman's so worried that, oh shit, like, so that means Mad Hatter knows, like, I'm Batman or Bruce Wayne is Batman and all this stuff about my family and everything. He's like, well, I would if not for the fact that I'm also part of your dream. Well, that's how this works. I'm still revealed as the Mad Hatter, though. I could be anything instead of me. But
yeah, like they could have had, they could have gone deeper. I mean, of course, like here I am being like, well, they should have done this better.
No, that's what the podcast is.
Oh, that's fair. We should do a podcast about
Who am I
sometime.
to do the exact thing we've been doing? Yeah.
But like the idea of like he could have been talking in his sleep or something. Like he could have been revealing maybe Jarvis had some kind of communication thing where he was actually projecting into the dream or something.
Yeah, or he could
crazy
see
like
what
that.
Batman was seeing or something.
Yeah, and maybe it's like a big two-parter or something, two-part episode. But
that has been something I've been thinking about is the Tim Talk podcast. They just did their final episode. They finished Justice League Unlimited. So they're like done going through the entire thing finally. And they had like a running gag of whether something that was only a one-parter should have been a two-parter. And there was one of the hosts is just constantly like, oh, this would have been so much better if it was a two-parter. And the other one's like, God damn it. Like always trying to avoid it. Like, I just want the one story and let's move on to the next thing. So is that something that you're like, is this the first time that you feel like you've been like, oh, I wish there was more to this instead of it just, oh, thank God, Nostromos, we're done with that.
Yeah, this is the first one where, well, maybe I was wishing that there was more for the It's Holes, baby. What was that one?
Oh, The Forgotten.
The Forgotten.
It's Holes, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
it
I think
had to
this
be
one
The Forgotten that I forgot the title of.
I think that this episode is like so, even when I'm like 8 years old, it's so obvious that it's a dream because it's called, like, dream is in the title of the episode.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty like easy to understand, like, okay, this isn't real. Everything is wrong. They're not just going to tell you that all the last 20 something episodes have just been in his head or something like that.
They're not Dallasing this one.
Yeah, they're not. What's the? Is that the one where they wake up at the end of the show? And
yeah,
the whole
like,
show was.
It's like, the person didn't die.
Yeah.
It was all a dream, and like the viewership just.
That's the like infamously stupid. Everyone hates that one. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, because of that, I don't think that like you would have had to arrange it differently, where part one was a lot more mysterious, I think. Like, maybe not start off with Batman in the real world. Just have him wake up at the very first second of the episode and be like, what's going on? Why am I not Batman? Or something like that. Well, because otherwise, I think you just know from the start that it's... At least I feel like that, but I don't know.
For me, like, I was expecting some kind of dream thing. And, like, as I generally do, talk out loud while we're watching these things. Usually it's just dumb jokes, but like I was back and forth until until the fake, or until like the non-entrance to the Batcave and the whole his parents being alive thing. I wasn't certain what was a dream and what wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he woke up from a dream and he's just really confused. The car chase was the dream. And, again, like, yeah, it led into it, and I picked it up pretty quickly. But I was not certain at the offset.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to find a good spot to end on a cliffhanger that wouldn't be like, okay, but I know in part two he's just gonna wake up from a dream. Like, I can tell this is a dream.
Yeah, yeah. If you're doing it that way, yeah, they could have done everything. They could have made the episode about like books, and then like the part two is about hip hop.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Part one's always more book anyway.
Yeah.
I'd say Cat in the Claw Part 2 was the book of the of the two. Yeah, well, it's not a two-parter, so let's talk about what it was instead.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this train rolling.
Catwoman almost gave Bruce a hand job.
What was that
I like
about?
How I'm glad that you picked up on that, because I was looking forward to bringing that up if you didn't. But in the moment, you and Kimmy, who is also watching, were both like, giving him a hand job. Like, what? She walks into his office and, oh, your mom told me to come say hi to you, that you've been really stressed, and I got to like de-stress you. And
She like
let me
essentially
take my
pulls
long
off her glove and
Yeah.
slaps it on his head.
yeah. Yeah, and it was like Kimmy said, like, no, I like it with the glove on. Or something. I can't remember. Yeah. It is a very strange thing because it's like, what else could that possibly be except that? Like, what are they alluding to otherwise? I have no idea.
Like the rated G version is maybe she's just gonna like rub the side of his face with her hand.
Yeah, or like a shoulder massage or something.
Maybe it's like a Rogue from X-Men kind of thing, and she's gonna like drain his powers.
She can only give him a hand job with the gloves off. That was also the Mad Hatter. He was just testing if he could. I'm just part of your dream.
Oh my god! I just had a dumb, kind of, I guess, unrelated epiphany thing of.
Okay.
You know that I tend to like try to read like every single sign.
Uh-huh.
And there was that one where he went by and it was just pure gibberish, and like I didn't register the whole like all the books in the newspapers being gibberish. I didn't register that it was.
Yeah, he comes out of Wayne Enterprises and there's a sign across the street. It's like Axel Glockable.
Yeah.
And you said that, and then I was like, like I know it's gonna be a thing.
It just like my eyes saw it, my mouth said it, and then it just kept going out the back of my head like that statue Batman throws completely through the television.
He really, yeah. It just goes right through the TV. No problem at all. Yeah. Yeah, the unfortunate part of this episode is some of the acting and some of the animation on like really dramatic moments. Like we have the whole cop chase was very silly. Like it's supposed to be really like serious and dramatic. Batman, come with us, Mr. Wayne. Okay. But not right now. And then he runs away, and then they stumble after him. And I swear that during the alleyway chase right after that, I feel like the cops like switch places a couple of times. Like I remember the fat one with the gray hair says like, okay, you go that way and I'll climb over this fence. And then he does. And then the next shot, that same cop is running where the other one was. And then the brown-haired cop stops and says, like, he's up there. And when it cuts to the other shot, they're in each other's spots again. Like they've reverted back to where they should be.
Wow, that would be, that'd be cool if that was an intentional thing.
Yeah, maybe. I doubt it. But it would be good for the dream, yeah. Yeah, and also I did get a good laugh with you guys out of the, like, Batman is like the most acrobatic martial arts badass you've ever seen him in this show so far.
Yeah.
And then he just throws a line onto a building and slowly walks up the side of the building in broad daylight.
That was one of my favorite parts. It's like, wow, he really
Yeah.
is impressive. And he shoots his grappling hook up this building, shoots up
then
about
just bloop,
15
bloop,
feet,
bloop.
and then
Yeah.
just bloop, 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 walks up
He
the
Adam
building.
West sideways walks, yeah. They filmed it with him just walking. And they turned the camera sideways, yeah. Yeah, they're just stuff like that. And a lot of the Bruce Wayne lines are delivered just kind of amateurly, I guess. We talked before about how like this is Kevin Conroy's first like voice acting job was Batman, so he's still kind of learning things, I think. But there's definitely some where when he's like looking through the books, and he's doing very similar to last episode kind of stuff as he's looking through the books. I don't know, just kind of not so great in a few spots.
Yeah, he was a little too hip hop at that moment.
He was, yeah. You need to reserve himself back to the books because it was a book scene.
It was a book
I know that's
scene.
what you meant, and it took me a second to catch up.
Yep, it's okay. Keep it rolling.
You want to go through the cast?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, we got Kevin Conroy as Batman. Though uncredited, he's also Thomas Wayne and other Batman. Bob Hastings as Commissioner Gordon. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. Adrienne Barbeau as Catwoman. Brian Cummings as Reporter. I'm not sure when the Reporter was there. What was the Reporter? I don't remember this. I don't know. But he... He plays Doofus Drake in DuckTales, Papa Bear in Berenstain Bears,
Nice.
Dr. Mindbender in G.I. Joe, And he was also bit parts in basically every cartoon you can think of from 1981 to now.
Rocko's Modern Life.
Probably. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but I put basically every cartoon. So
Oh, okay.
there's a crying baby in the background.
Nice.
We got Roddy McDowell as Mad Hatter and Diana Muldour as Dr. Leslie Tompkins. All mostly people we've had before.
Yeah.
We got big trivs, so I'm going to start going through it because we might go off tangents on it, and we'll talk more about the episode that way anyway.
Okay.
Though unconfirmed, this episode may be based on the Detective Comics issue number 633, Identity Crisis, in which Batman awakens in a fictional world in which he is not Batman.
Big
Cool.
trivs.
During the initial car chase, both the Crook's car and the Batmobile drive through the buildings because the background cells and the foreground cells aren't edited together correctly, which I think you called as it happened.
Yeah, I just
like,
I
they're
just
not on
simply
the road or
said
something.
they're not on the ground or something like that. Yeah.
You said, that's not how that works, and I was like, really getting off early on this. When Bruce sees Batman for the first time in the dream world, we talked about this, the Wayne Enterprises logo can clearly be seen as he rushes downstairs. However, but perhaps as an early clue that this is all a dream, the jewelry store, the crooks are robbing across the street reads Alxziv. Batman figures out he's trapped in a dream when he's unable to read the books or newspapers. He later explains this by saying that the parts of the brain responsible for dreaming and reading are on different hemispheres, and that it's impossible to read in a dream. This is a myth. The brain is far more complex than that. It's entirely possible and completely commonplace for people to read in dreams. However, if you read in a dream, the text on the page rarely stays the same between two looks. So given realistic limitations on the dream machine, he could very easily have found out almost exactly the same way in real life too. It just wouldn't be quite as obvious.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. You think you asked that? Is that a thing? And I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
I know the because I've done a little bit of research into what is that called? My brain just completely stopped working.
Brain
Learning.
Brian.
Lucid dreaming.
There you
And that was one of the things is like if you're reading something, like try reading it again and seeing if it makes sense. And that's one of the clues that you're dreaming.
I usually remember my dreams pretty vividly, and I can't think of an example of like, oh yeah, that's true, because that one that I read a thing in, like I don't recall that at all, but I believe it, I guess. When Bruce uses his rope to climb the bell tower, the grapple is attached to a gargoyle. However, in the next shot, it's attached to the top of the tower. The rope and grapple completely disappear later.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
Oh my God.
'Cause it
When
does a
Bruce
total-
wakes up, what?
Go
When
on.
Bruce, quote unquote, wakes up, the robe on the side of his bed is transparent for a few seconds. This is a lot of just this kind of thing, pointing these things out to you.
Go on, rapid fire.
When Bruce tells his parents, "You're a lie," he mouths, "It's not true."
Oh,
Okay. Although the entire series is heavily indebted to film noir, some of the most explicit references are found in this episode. The climax of the bell tower is perhaps a nod to Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, and Batman directly quotes Humphrey Bogart's final paraphrase from The Tempest in the Maltese Falcon in the end. The climax also... Maltese Falcon. Those Maltese just falcon all over the place. The climax also resembles the finale of Metropolis and Tim Burton's Batman, in which Michael Keaton's Batman and Jack Nicholson's Joker face off in the spire of a cathedral.
It's also pretty reminiscent of the 1993, I think, The Crow.
Yes. Who is the Crow?
Which one?
The one in my video called The Crow. Do you remember this? Have
No.
I showed you this? I feel like I showed you this. The title comes from a line in the famous "To Be or Not to Be" soliloquy from the play Hamlet, in which Prince Hamlet debates with himself whether or not to commit suicide or to face the cruel travails of the world, and specifically the task of avenging his dead father, which has been put before him. This is a subtle but intriguing parallel, not only to the story of the episode itself, but to the story of Batman in general. Also, Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman in the series, appeared in a number of Shakespeare plays during the 1980s, including A Midsummer Night's Dream, before being cast on the show.
Wow, look at that connection. Big trivs.
There's not a lot to comment on these.
No.
It's just like, interesting.
I'm just gonna
Moving on.
I'm just gonna keep saying
Yeah.
big trivs.
In the book, Batman Animated,
Big
Paul
terms.
Dini wrote that the producers rarely explore the idea of Bruce being tempted to give up being Batman and lead a normal life. Kevin Conroy added, Batman needs Bruce, however hollow that identity feels to him from time to time. Bruce keeps Batman human. I think the temptation is there, but the temptation is to retreat into the cave and never come out, to give up his disguise as Bruce Wayne and surrender himself completely to the darkness. In that sense, Batman seems to be able to tell that the dream world is a lie because the temptation it offers is not truly the one he feels.
That is interesting. Like you could definitely tell that it was like messing with his personality, but also poor Alfred's. He just seemed like hardcore slave boy.
Yeah, I mean, he was much more just doing like random butler stuff than we usually see him doing. Like in terms of like I'm gonna make food and press your suit and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most like mature story of any of the episodes that we've watched so far, probably.
Yeah.
At least in like intention or like, yeah, I would say the intent, the execution is not as good as it could be, but for this early on in this show and for like, you know, being surrounded by a bunch of Prophecy of Dooms, Mad as a Hatter's, stuff like that. The fact that this is as good as it is, I think is pretty remarkable, I guess.
Yeah. And even like not just the storyline, but like the whole episode, the art, the music was like all like pretty damn good.
Very moody. The main clue the Mad Hatter is behind the events of the episode is the fact that his theme plays in the episode's title card. I did not notice that.
I didn't even know what it sounds like.
I don't know. I couldn't sing it for you now if I wanted to. Bruce buys a flare gun and some flares, probably with the intention to get Batman's attention. However, he never actually uses them. I just realized that he totally doesn't.
Does he even receive them?
I think so. He walks in there and the guy's like, yeah, sure, buddy. And then he walks out of the store. You assume he bought them, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess I never saw him like with them. He had the grappling hook and the rope around his shoulder. What I love that he's like, Batman talking to the cops outside that store with the whole, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
And like, but not right now. And then rather than turning and jumping into the convertible, he jumps over the car and then starts running.
We also didn't comment on how he throws that grappling hook like 300 feet up. Just straight up. And on first try, he gets it. Because he's Batman.
Yeah. He's
one
almost
of the
as competent as Batman, too.
Yeah. You were so like shocked at how good of a Batman the fake Batman was. And I was like, nothing that he did in that scene felt like overly impressive to me, and I realize it's just because that out of all the stuff we've watched so far, that's the most like acrobatic martial arts man he's been. So I'm sure it stuck out to you as like, holy shit, this Batman's good, and I'm like, that's still not as good as like he gets eventually. So
from my perspective, that Batman was a 10. Like tackling one bad guy,
kind flips on every step.
yeah. I mean, like jumping onto the like crashing car, and then like he like one arm grabs that dude, like does some pole dancing around the light post enough so that the crook is like, you know,
dizzy.
He's like, he's dizzy and can't function, and Batman just stands there perfectly like rock solid. Like he's just Batman 2 is like.
I do wonder, because Bruce is Selena Kyle says like he's good or something, and Bruce is like or like he's impressed. Yeah. And I wonder if that's like a purposeful, like the Mad Hatter not knowing anything about Batman other than what he's experienced himself, if he just wrote that into his dream code or whatever, like that Batman's really fucking good at everything. And even Bruce Wayne, who's actually Batman, is like, I can't do that shit. I can't swing around a stop sign or whatever. You know,
I gotta practice my karate.
Oh man, am I really that out of shape? Like looking at himself. obviously this wouldn't have worked, but it would have been pretty funny if that Batman just had the Mad Hatter's lower face. This big giant tooth grin.
Big teeth.
Oh, I wonder
Batman.
who it is. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's me, Batman. The whole time, like talking like him and everything. One of the men who Batman stops during the jewel heist resembles the Penguin's henchman Jay from I've Got Batman in My Basement, while the man who Bruce asks for the flare gun and flares resembles Raven from the same episode. Didn't you say that you also saw Harvey Dent in the elevator or something?
Yeah, as he was running out of Wayne Enterprises,
Yeah.
like out of his office or whatever.
I'm surprised that Wayne Enterprises wasn't spelled wrong.
I mean, it was
guess
spelled
maybe that's
wee.
Yeah, this is just ingrained in his head, I guess. Two more. Kevin Conroy has stated numerous times that this is one of his favorite episodes of the series, tied with an episode called Dreamscapes. However, no such episode with the latter title exists. That's one that I added in.
Oh, boy.
Because he almost every interview that someone asks him that, he'll say like, oh, Perchance to Dream, and then Dreamscapes, we really got that right again, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, that's not an episode. What are you talking about? The only thing I can think of is, because there's another episode called Dreams in Darkness. Like, it just has the word dream in the title. And I assume that that's what he's thinking of, or maybe that used to be called that, like in production, and they changed the name or something to where it's just ingrained in his head, like that's what that episode is. Otherwise, I have no idea.
Have you
it's always
done any
perplexed me.
like deep dives on
No,
like episode naming or anything?
Finding that. No, well, I mean, yeah, but we've never coincidentally come across it. I feel like if we ever finally get to interview him, I'm going to try to word it in a way that doesn't say, hey, you fucking idiot, there's no episode called that. What did you mean, actually?
Kevin,
But I want to find out if...
Dreamscapes.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'll just go, Kevin, I just have one word. Dreamscapes? And then have him like, can you describe the episode to me, please? I need to...
What happens in Dreamscapes? What do you love about it so much?
Yeah. Can you please describe the plot like a TV guide synopsis?
Maybe the whole thing is that it's not actually a Batman thing. It's just like his favorite episode of some other show.
Yeah, that he was cameoed in or something. Yeah.
Maybe not even. He's just like, man, that episode of 30
really
Rock,
like
Dreamscapes?
Yeah. I also really like Dreamscapes from Dallas.
It's the one where the guy wakes up at the end.
It's the finale, yeah. Okay, last thing.
Last tribs.
Last tribs. This episode's air date, October 19th, 1992, later appears on a magazine cover in an upcoming episode. That's one of our like handful of linchpins for the timeline of like,
oh,
it says a date right here, kind of a deal.
Cool.
Yeah. That's all I got for trivs.
Those are some big trivs. I appreciate the trivs. I have thoughts about them, and they are good.
Thank you.
Great.
What else happened in this episode that we should talk about?
Let me think about what happened. Was there anything that was funny that we didn't talk about, or good, or
I think
entertaining?
Catwoman's voice actor also voiced Martha Wayne, his mom.
Bigger trivs.
I can't get any bigger than that.
Oh.
I can't get a bigger glove than that. I can't take well, what else was that? Could it have possibly been?
I don't know. Please, yeah, that's a dear listener. Please comment in. Like, what was she gonna do? What's the rated G version that like?
Yeah,
or not?
I'm gonna. Well, I mean, they even. I had forgotten exactly how the episode ended. I knew it was Mad Hatter, but I wasn't sure, like, how does he get out of the dream? I couldn't remember that. So when he's like, I'm going to fucking kill you said, Batman, kill yourself, do it. And then he's like, I'm going to kill like, he just jumps off the building. I thought because he runs past the camera and then you see the policeman going like, Bruce, no, don't do it. And the lightning flashes and it goes black. And I thought, oh, okay, that's their way around the sensors to go like, he jumped off the building via,
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Implications. But then you just see him jumping. So I'm like, oh, but you couldn't do a hand job. Why don't you just show me the hand? Come on,
Jamie?
No, I don't need it.
Is that a weird Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, show me the hint. Oh boy, I'm sure there's a DeviantArt thing up somewhere where you can see it if you want. Rule 34: perchance to dream hand job. It does exist somewhere out there.
Oh my god.
We can't call this episode anything with that. Oh no, you said a title already. That's all good.
I did, but what was it? I've already forgotten.
Salad bowl of dreams or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh, Colander.
Yeah.
Batman's Colander of Dreams.
It's a good episode, especially when we've been watching so many bad ones.
Oh my god, it really sticks out.
Yeah, I was glad that it was like as good as I remember or whatever, but it was probably enhanced by all the not so
Just
great.
it's a wonderful breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about listing this?
Yeah, and the top DAs.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you put it on your top DAs?
I'm looking at this and I'm kind of wishing that I shifted things over, because I'm definitely at the point where like I am not remembering everything super accurately, because I would love to have a list where this and the Forgotten.
I was gonna say, yeah, the only way
10.
you can put it on there is to bump the Forgotten off. You know?
I know. Can I shuffle it?
No. Okay. Well, how about I don't know how we can do this. I was thinking about this earlier, listening to some episode a few episodes ago about like, what if we gave ourselves like some Uno cards for this? So like throughout the whole thing, throughout the whole thing, like we get like 5 total like reshuffles of the top 10 or something. So like if you wanted to put this on there, you could use one of those now or something like that. But then you only have 4 left for the next hundreds of episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could make it 10, but that feels like a lot. Like it feels like it's not the stakes aren't as high.
Yeah, no, I don't think we need to do that many. It just like, I think it's the reality of the freshness of it. Because like, okay, I know I liked the Two-Face episode. I know I liked Feet of Clay.
Yes. So Feet of Clay Part 1 was, hey, I'm a dude who can shift his face around.
Right.
I'm pretending to be Bruce Wayne in order to get more of my face cream.
Right.
And then he goes to steal it, and the guys pour it down his throat, and he becomes Clayface. That's the bulk of the episode. And then Part 2 was the much better animated.
Right.
He goes to confront the business owner, and he's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. And Batman's like, no, look at all your faces. And he's, oh, fuck, I'm transforming into all my faces.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And
oh.
that was also the one that gives more of his backstory, right?
Yeah. Oh, you asked him for the cream in the first place. Like, yeah.
I would.
Not that I'm trying to. Let me be clear. I'm not trying to influence your decision making between the 2 feet of ant gaze, but I definitely personally find the second part to be much better.
Yeah, I mean that's why
number 2 and part 1 at number 8 on my. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to use one of my Uno cards.
Okay.
Because
Does that mean? Do you want to shuffle the whole thing, or just enough to keep the Forgotten? Like, what do you? I don't know.
I feel like the Forgotten. Well, no,
I guess
maybe
we
I
have to
can
make
be.
the decision whether the shuffle move. Should we read the top 10 in reverse so that people know what you're shuffling at all? Have any context whatsoever?
I think I can actually. I don't need a shuffle. I can do this.
Oh,
I can let go
okay.
of the Forgotten and just know that it's an episode that I like.
Yeah, that seems fine.
I'm okay with that. So
I'm gonna at the bottom though. I'm gonna put shuffles remaining.
Okay.
Jim Jam 5, Brick 5. Okay,
Cool. I
just
like
so
it.
we're clear.
So my current order from 10 to 1 is the Forgotten, Two-Face Part 1, Feet of Clay Part 1, Pav, Nothing to Fear, Cat in the Claw Part 1, Pretty Poison, Joker's Favor, Feet of Clay Part 2, and Heart of Ice.
Are there any others of those you need me to re-explain to you what they were? I'm happy to do it. I can do it all day.
It's kind of your thing. I think the ending for this kind of like, I feel like it would be higher, but what I want to do is I want to put it at number 8.
Okay, so above Feet of Clay Part 1 and Two-Face Part 1.
Yes.
That's high praise going above the Two-Face.
It is. It is. Oh my God. I can't think of the real name of this episode now.
What, the one we just watched? Perchance to Dream.
Perchance to Dream. I'm like, what is something of dreams?
You didn't answer me. I'm like, I'm just going to say it, I guess.
Perchance to Dream. Forgotten. You had a short run, but I appreciated you. Gosh. Number 8.
You have like a honorable mentions or something. We're splitting this up far too much, but you could very well have an honorable mentions. I don't know.
Cool. There we go. That's the first big shift I've had in a while.
I'm also going to put this on my top 10. I'm going to put it at number 7 after Eternal Yopppie. Above Pretty Poison. I still think so my reverse was number 10 Vendetta. I'm trying to read the real names.
I know. We gotta
Vendetta. Number
these.
9, Nothing to Fear, Feet of Clay Part 1, Pretty Poison, Eternal Youth, Joker's Favor, not Flavor, Heart of Ice, Two-Face Part 1, Feet of Clay Part 2, On Leather Wings, not on pleather things. But yeah, I've just pushed Vendetta off.
Actually, maybe
which means Nothing to Fear is my next casualty, potentially. Well,
Yeah.
it will be, yeah.
Do me... Pav.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me of Pav.
Re-explain it. 3 different cops retell a Batman encounter in a fiery warehouse.
Yes. Okay, no, I am good. I'm good with it. Number 8.
You should have like a quiz for me, like retell the plot in less than 12 words or something. 3 cops retell separate Batman fire warehouse stories. Beat up not Riddler or Clock King. That was probably more than 12 words.
That was more words. 12 more. 12 than the words.
I'll count them in editing.
Well, that's good. We both we agree that it's
Yeah.
about the right.
Yeah, I have 7. You have 8. Yeah, it's on the 10. There have been some that we've watched that have been better than this. Sorry, Kevin Conroy. I don't know nothing else to add to
follow
that.
up, but no.
No, there's nothing. And it doesn't go on the bottom A7, of course.
No.
All right. Well, that's it for the discussion of this episode. At the end of these, we always say what the next episode title is, and Brian guesses what it's going to be about. But first...
Mail time.
That yop had one small extra yop put it over.
Here's the mail. I was distracted. I was bringing up the mail. I was like, oh, why am I not singing? Oh, because it's me.
That was one of the better, like, Jamie fails.
We were just, there's a 12 Days of Christmas on Sesame Street that I just watched, and Jessica was like, oh my God, it started playing, and she's like, have you seen this? You have to watch this. And Elmo is the 5 golden rings in the middle, but it's all cookies for Cookie Monster. So it was like 5 Christmas trees, I think is what it was. And so he's, of course, like just being very 5 Christmas trees every time. And then, but then when he does 7, I think, Cookie Monster 7, this kind of cookie, 6, this kind of cookie, and it gets to Elmo, and he's just completely distracted, and the music's playing, and he just goes like, "Oh, but Elmo just did it. 5!" And then he moves on to the next thing. It was really good. I'm glad that Jessica got my attention. All right, we have some mail, some Yoppie mail. We have a voice message from Tip Tapricot.
Ooh, bring it.
Good morning, midday, or evening, gentlemen. It was only the universe that held back my scathing remarks last time, but luckily, my anger has subsided, so we're all good there. Unfortunately for Brian, 私は日本語を勉強する。私の話し方は基本ですが、ブライアンさんの日本語は、悪いですね。勉強してください。頑張ってね。Anyway, good review this week, and if Brian wants tea talk, I'm happy to say I had a great cup of vanilla rooibos this morning. Ooh, you ever had vanilla rooibos? It's just so good. You got those nutty notes, those sweet notes. Ooh, very, Very tasty, especially with creamer or milk. Had it with almond milk. Very nice. I will also say
approve.
that although it's basic, Earl Grey is really good when you have it with something sweet.
It is.
Like a cream cheese Danish.
Yes.
Would suggest. Creates a very nice balance between the kind of bitter herbal of the tea and the cream cheese Danish. Anyway, that's all for now. Have a great day. And drink some nice tea, I guess. Yeah.
I will. Thank you. I like Earl Grey. I didn't say anything bad about it.
I like that I completely understand Japanese.
Did you really? What did they say? Because I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't tell you.
It's just, I know, but it's a secret.
I mean, my name was in there. I heard that much.
I heard that part, yeah. Yeah, Tip Tapricot, if you could send a translation in the YouTube comments, that'd be great.
If you could translate it to Norwegian, that would be perfect for me.
I'd love to know what kind of string of curse words I just aired on the podcast.
I also really like the pairing, the tea pairing, the tea in Danish. And
did you know that tea that they said?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is.
So well, we could go on a big tea
There's
song.
tea, you see. It's made from leaves and water. I'm brick.
Rooibos is a root, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, but
It's made. I had. I tried to say the most basic, obvious thing about tea, and it was still wrong.
you know tea
It's
stuff.
leaves.
And I like how many people are like, okay, Jamie, we're going to come at you for this whole hating on Earl Grey thing.
I like it. I said it caps the Captain Picard tea, and I drink it.
Jamie, you got to stop insulting Earl Grey. You should try it.
Dylan Pollock, time for Dylan Pollock, time for Dylan Pollock, time for... here we go. It's time for Dylan Pollock.
Have you got something for every one of the sounds in the soundboard?
Dylan Pollock.
That's my new vote.
Yeah, I like that best anyway. All right.
Brick, brack, patty, whack, give a James a bone. It's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock. This episode is Perchance to dream or enter the Bat Twilight Zone. So it's terribly sad that there's like 30 seconds where Bruce believes that this is real, although it could have been a twist that it was real in the end and that the real Bruce is just dyslexic and couldn't read those books. Also, I feel bad for Commissioner Gordon at the end there. You have that great closing line of Kevin Conroy saying the stuff that dreams are made of, but he just walks away, and I feel like Commissioner Gordon is kind of just like, okay, I guess I'll go back in and find out for myself. And lastly, on a slightly more serious note, do you guys think that Batman existing in that world, was that saying that Bruce believes that Batman is necessary for a perfect world, or was it just saying that that's the part of his brain trying to tell him it's not real? You guys let me know what you think. And these are the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock.
Okay, first of all, Dylan, you said two things that I said during the episode that I completely forgot to bring up during this. Was one when he's like realizing it's a dream and can't read. I just said like, I only learned how to read when I trained to become Batman. I don't know how to read. Oh my God. And then the other one was, the ending where he's just like, Commissioner Gordon's like, do you know what that machine was? And Batman goes like, yes. Something poetry, and walks away. But I just wanted him to go, yes, and just leave. Yeah. Oh, are you going to tell me what it is? Goodbye.
Onto that question.
Yeah.
That's a really good, like, I think I was probably just assuming that it was like a sort of like subconscious subliminal sort of projection. Mm-hmm. I think Bruce's preferred world would be that he doesn't have to be, you just like have parents and like be a normal dude.
I forgot that he does have a couple minutes of being really happy about the dream. So whenever he was starting to be like, no, it's all wrong. Oh, I'm supposed to be really sad and everything's bad and my parents are dead. And I was thinking, like, why are you so upset about this? Like, shouldn't you be like, oh, hell yeah, this is great. And then when he finally does, and that's when he starts realizing, I feel like it's supposed to maybe be like a commentary on like he's not meant to be happy kind of a thing. Like that's what starts to tip him off to it, which is a pretty deep thing, you know?
It's a pretty deep, sad thing, I know.
It's a little thing. I would say, yeah, I'd say that that's more of what it is like he understands that like this can't possibly be right because like deep down I know I'm not supposed to be in a positive life. So
that's heavy.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well, time for YouTube comments. On the previous episode, thank you for sending voice messages, by the way. If you want to reach out to us like the I say this at the end. I'm going to say it again. Reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of Cat in the Claw Part 2. You can email us at podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com. Send a voice message or go to anchor.fm/Bat-Wagon. Send us a voice message there, too. Many different ways you can do so. And by many, I mean two. Scarface Nate. This is on the Cape and Cowl Conspiracy or Please Sign My Batman poster. Scarface Nate says, I love Perchance to Dream. It's one of my top 10 BTAS episodes. Hey, us too, man.
Yep,
From here, it's only going to get better. Yeah, from here, it's only going to get better and more crazy for BTAS, so prepare yourself, brother Brick.
I shall.
Matthew Ledbetter says, I always thought it was a shame this wasn't a Riddler episode. This is about the last one, Cape and Cowl Conspiracy. He didn't get enough episodes, and this would have fit him perfectly. Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus. It's like, why the fuck was this not? Yeah, Diet Riddler. Scotty Cameron, BTAS and The Batman introduce a Diet Riddler before introducing the actual Riddler, but at least The Batman used the Clue Master, a more prominent Batman villain. This episode would have been better if it deviated from the comic it's based on and used the Riddler instead of Wormwood. Wormwood's name is already changed from Jeremy Wormwood to Josiah Wormwood. Also, Batman tells Yotsik that it would be wise for him to leave town after he gets done swinging him across the ballroom. That's the only hint I found that the episode leaves for its big twist. Overall, this episode feels like a script for Saw that Lee Winnell and James Wan scrapped in the early phases of making Saw, then was picked by Bruce Timm and co. to make the plot of a Batman episode. Speaking of Saw, now I want to see the reveal of Batman being Yotsik the whole time to the tune of Hello Zep and the Saw-style montage from the very few clues the episode leaves to indicate the twist. That's the Saw theme song. That bum, 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 everything's revealed, showing you what really happened, the background. That stuff. That's what that song goes.
Bravo, Jamie, bravo.
Probably would make the episode better. Man Ray being in BTAS is good knowledge. There's another SpongeBob voice actor who shows up in BTAS later on. I won't spoil who it is. I'll just give a hint. He was on the 60s Batman show. I don't know who they're talking about, but we will get Mr. Krabs eventually.
They're talking about oh my god.
Sandy Cheeks.
No.
You actually know?
Yeah. What was
Oh, Ernest Borgnine?
No, what was Batman's name?
Adam West.
Adam West. Adam West is in SpongeBob, wasn't he?
Was he? I don't know.
I am checking this.
He's the mayor in Family Guy. That's all I'm thinking of.
That's true. SpongeBob.
I mean, I do wonder now if Ernest Borgnine, he's Mermaid Man, was on the Batman show. He might have been.
Yeah,
it feels right.
Adam West is. He was the young Mermaid Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was not aware of this. And what season of SpongeBob? Is it a season after I stopped giving a crap about SpongeBob?
Probably. I feel like it was relatively early on. I can't get you an episode right now. I could, but I'm not going to.
Ashley Tutchin says, ooh, I'm looking forward to the next episode. It's one of my all-time favorites. That's the one we just watched. If it doesn't make it onto both your top 10s, then I'm sorry. It did! Yeah! Then I'm sorry, but I'll no longer be able to take you seriously as the high-class professional connoisseurs and critics that you claim to be. I don't think we've ever said that. Charles Motosierra. I always liked Perchance to Dream, but it weirds me out that Bruce's dream world just has another Batman instead of not needing a Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's probably a standout thing of why it's memorable. Is like, it could have just been, here's a different timeline, but instead there's still Batman. Tip Taprica. Kevin Renke says the brother Renke. What do you Renke? I don't know.
You had
the
it
brothers
once.
Yop. Yeah, apparently, but they didn't say which one was right. The brothers Yop come through again. Love this podcast talking about one of the more boring Batman episodes. I think we have a new name for Harvey Dent now, too. Pepe Le Pew Face. Next up is my...
that one snuck up on me.
The skunk bad guy. Next up is mine and Conroy's favorite of the original B-Test run. By the way, so close on my name. When reading Renke, the NK goes together like the word thank. Renke. Scarlowy one says yop 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 yop. Oh no! If you read this comment, you just cost yourself thousands of dollars. MN Drew 1 says, next week on Jump on the Bat-Wagon, the long-awaited all-musical episode 26. I guess it's because we just keep doing songs in the thing. I've already done a couple in this one unintentionally.
It's this thing we do.
Kuhn-
Before I get way off, who was it? Kevin that just thanked us for the last episode. Like, man, I really do want to like kind of tighten things up. I don't know how people feel about it, but listening to the last one, I was outside.
It went quite a long time. Yeah,
it was a long one. And I felt like it dragged, and I thought it was boring. Yeah. And the whole time I was just like feeling so bad for everybody that listens to it. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't like it. I'm sorry that we sometimes drag on.
I definitely have my moments while we're talking where I'm thinking like, oh, we're not saying enough stuff. Like, we really need to be talking about this episode. But then when I listen back, I'm like, get on with it, assholes. Come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we'll be better.
I think this one's being better. It's already over an hour,
better.
But I think it's a little bit better.
Cooney Phoenix says, which is, I think, is in reference to this episode.
Like the jewelry shop.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually studying Japanese, and yes, you did indeed more or less say I'm not stupid. Interestingly, though, you said it the long, formal way. But true, a bunch of Japanese characters, LOL. On another note, I can never remember the actual name of this episode, so I instead called it the Discount Riddler episode because I remember thinking it was the Riddler until I rewatched it for maybe the third time ever a year ago and finally realized. Anyways, really fine episode. Thank you for the laughs. And there's a bunch of like star emojis, but I don't know if they're the rating kind or they're just emojis.
Either way, we'll take it as ratings.
Thank you. Kai Holmes. Oh, I should check that too. Kai Holmes says, so maybe I need to rethink my opinion of this episode that I had on the last video. I think it was because the first time I saw it, I had the same reaction of James when Batman revealed himself at the end. It's one of the most over-the-top, Batman is always 2 steps ahead moments, and I love it. But it's only in this episode's dreams that it's better than the next one. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. Always a good way to cap off my work week. Keep up the great work. And then throughout this entire comment, anytime that a Y or an O or a P are in it, they're capitalized.
Wow, that is dedication.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to really quick check if there's any new... I'm not quite done with the comments, but I'm going to check if there's new reviews or anything on the... Nope. Requiring me to actually have any friends is the latest one. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll read it on the place.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The Yop Tower database says Yop has been illegally repeated 146 times this episode. At $536 per Yop, the Watchtower now owe me an additional $78,256. Actions have consequences, gentlemen. This war is far from over.
How could they possibly be typing that with the house raid going? I mean,
I thought that too. I saw the comment come in. I didn't read it, but I saw that the name, and I did think it was suspicious that they're still able to access their computer from jail. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll check in with the big raid crew.
I mean, maybe it's just a really swanky prison.
Oh, it could be a swanky
internet.
prison.
They get like internet half hours or something.
Yeah. They probably have to like forego a meal for that, maybe.
I hope so. Matty Washburn says, "Stop the count! Stop the count!" Batgirl Fangirl, it was only a hologram, the ultimate plot device. Okay, what I took from this episode, Baron Vaclav Yotsik must have the strongest braces in all of Gotham City.
Yeah.
Braces.
Braces is like, I don't know if it's just the UK, maybe Australia, but suspenders.
Oh. Well, way to reveal something about yourself, Batgirl Fangirl. There really is your real name. The GCPD must be blind as they didn't notice Wormwood erecting a billboard with a riddle outside GCPD headquarters. And Wormwood was fooled into thinking 6'2" Batman was 5'0" Yotsik. Thank you, Dylan, James, Brian, and all the other listener for keeping me entertained. Wow, Dylan's listed first. 5 stars and 5 train emoji.
I'm okay with it. Dylan's been at this game a lot longer than me.
Yeah, Dylan has his own podcast. So, what's up? No, he dropped it between the couch and the table. Yeah, you'll get it. Looking for the baby monitor. Nick Sorensen says, this was one of those episodes I don't remember seeing much of on TV, but now I can best remember it as the episode where they introduced the bat signal. The next episode, however, has definitely some of my all-time favorite out of BTAS moments and has certainly become one of mine.
Yeah. I'm glad everyone, I mean, I'm not surprised that everyone has such a positive outlook on Batman's Colander Dream of Colanders, never mind.
Beans.
It's a good one.
Batman's beans. Yeah. MJ Barrett, Batman is the king of farmer carries. Is that that's the under the arm
Oh,
thing, right?
yeah, okay.
Yeah, between Rupert Murdoch and this guy. Shane Martin, Jim Jam, and Brother Brick Broderick, thank you. Dylan Pollock, I guess you could say when Tip Tapricot's voice message didn't go through, he got nasty. Dylan Pollock.
Oh, because Teep, wow, that one took me wow.
Then Dylan Pollock replies, haha, this is Earl Great. And Dylan Pollock replies, oh no, forgot to use one of my thousands of sock puppet accounts. Yeah.
I love the lore going on between the listeners.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Dylan Pollock also says, get out your checkbooks because you owe at least $53,600. Also, the plan's coming together because 2 voice messages played in this episode. Next episode, probably just 1 again. Yep,
Shoot for 3
right.
next time, Dylan. Come on.
What you got to do is, forget to send them in 3 weeks in a row and then send them all at once.
Oh, no, that'd be bad. We'd be sending out the troops.
Yes. No Net Plays. Cape and Cowl Conspiracy is definitely one of those episodes I enjoy watching more on a second viewing. Watched it last night, and there's a few different moments that hint at the hidden plot of this episode, like how Batman somehow knows exactly what the riddle means, whereas Gordon has no idea. But he didn't write the riddle, did he? It was other guy, not Riddler.
I guess I'd have to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I've already forgotten. Scarface Nate again, or is that again?
No, I think
the
it's
second
the first.
Scarface Nate. Hang on.
I'm hanging.
No, that was the first comment was them.
Oh, shoot.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, Scarface Nate says, "Hey, brother Brick," and it sounds wrong to say brother Brick and Jamie. Brother Brick and Jamie. Fun episode as always. This episode was always one I didn't care much about and forgettable. The only thing of note is the bat signal. Speaking of which, this is when I usually watch Mask of the Phantasm because it features the bat signal, and I wanted to know what your usual DCAU binge watch order. Anyways, fun episode as always. 5 Batman growls out of 5 Batman free poster handouts. My DCAU binge, or I don't know. I rarely actually do that. Like, this is the closest thing I've done to a DCAU binge in quite some time. When the Batman DVDs came, like, it took like a decade or more for the animated series to come out on DVD. Because why would it have in 1992? But when I had only seen a handful of episodes when that happened, and so I just watched all of it in a couple days' time.
Wow.
Like, I missed so much, kind of a deal. So that's why some of these are even like, when we're coming up on some of these worse ones, I really have only seen them maybe 2 or 3 times before this, compared to like the good ones. I watch like that same call that Ted and I had. with the book guy. He was asking like, oh no, who was this? I think it was Connor. Connor, our assistant editor, Connor was asking me. So I just talked to so many people. I just can't remember.
Jamie, you're so
They asked me, "Oh, Father, would you like to go to the opera with me?" Connor asked me like what my go-to like comfort show is that's not the DCAU. And I'm like, I don't think I have an answer. Like, as if I'm just like, oh man, I've had a bad day. I really just want to eat ice cream and watch a Justice League episode. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know. That's just what I do. Even though I've seen them countless times.
Man, I feel like I've known you to watch so many different shows though. SpongeBob?
Well, I guess, but I
You
don't
and your
know.
sister murdered a lot of SpongeBob.
We murdered SpongeBob.
You murdered SpongeBob. I've seen you use a sponge
Yeah.
before. Does your sister listen to this podcast?
I don't think so. Screw you, Julia. Oh my god. Aussie Dragoon says, Big Bus Broderick, Yop Department, 26 credits. Yop on the Dude Wagon, 25 episodes. Vi-reality film post-production. Finally, only 2 episodes, one at the time of reading, until Broderick gets introduced to legendary Sewer King that everyone in the Forgottens comments wanted him to know about. I hope he's everything you'll dream he'll be. Congrats on being big in Japan. Looking forward to the next episode of I've Got Baby in My Background. It's this one. You've been listening to it. Wency209, last comment. To be honest, I almost forgot about this podcast until I saw the notification. That's sad.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Wow, my heart.
Damn. What a way to end the comments. Thanks a lot.
Hold on, we should read another comment.
That was it. When you comment first, you're supposed to write first. That's the rule of the internet. You don't get to write a depressing, I didn't even remember your show. You know what?
We just gotta try harder.
From now on, if you're the first person to comment, no matter what you said, even
No.
if it's great,
No.
I'm just going to read it saying first. Sorry. That's how it works.
You're just particular. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, the next episode is called The Underdwellers. Have you figured out by now what it is? We've hinted at it several times last episode and this episode.
Yeah,
now.
it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover.
It sure is, yeah. Yeah. There is that, but that's not what this is.
There's a Batman TMNT crossover.
Uh-huh.
You're kidding me.
It's not in this show. So there are several in existence, but not in this show.
Okay.
There is a Batman TMNT comic from late 2010s, I want to say. And then there's Batman the Animated Series TMNT crossover comment from 2016. And then there's also an animated Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from, I want to say, 2018 or 2019.
Wow, I can't wait to watch all of these.
Yeah, none of that's going to be in this. So
I can't wait to watch all of these on my personal time, Jamie.
Yeah, you can certainly watch the comic, yeah. I mean, I guess technically.
Yeah. What do you do
You're
with
watching
comics?
it. I listen them. They don't tell me much.
Just like all the watchers of this podcast.
Paper sounds. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it. Oh, wait. Did we Batman's usefulness?
I think this is another one of those things happening to Batman, so his usefulness is kind of inconsequential.
Was this a books or hip hop?
This is more hip hop.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks
if
for
you want to reach out. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat and the Claw Part 2, email podcast at watchtowerdatabase.com. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released every Friday on the Podtower YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/thepodtower. Don't add the extra towers. That was an echo.
Can I make an interjection?
What? No. Yes.
Listener, if you've listened this far and you've never commented on the YouTube or written in on your podcast of choice or whatever, do it. We want to hear from you.
We want to know.
We want to know.
We want you to write first.
If you just write first, doesn't matter.
Even if you're not first. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not first, you're last, is what they say. Yeah, Podtower YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, technically Google Podcasts, but every time I go there, it's not there. So I don't know.
Oh.
It says it's there, and then I go there, it's not there. So I guess
Shoot.
technically not. Yeah, dang it.
Dang, I didn't even know
Foiled
Google had
again.
is that like the Google? What was Google's like Facebook?
Google Plus.
Google Plus. Like Google's just like, we're gonna do podcasts, and like no, everyone's like, nah.
We're going to do Facebook. And then everyone also now is like, Facebook's like, we're going to do Facebook. And we're like, nah.
We're gonna do
We're gonna call it
metaverse, and
Meta,
everyone's like,
yeah. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next week for the Underdwellers. The Underdwellers.
I remember that more than I remembered the name of this episode. Boom.
Whoa. Good timing. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Something for the lab boys to play with. Any idea what it is?
Yes. The stuff that dreams are made of.